900-pound bike, two up, 90 degrees, stop and go traffic. To split traffic or not to split traffic? That is the question coming right up. Okay, so you're here, so obviously you already know the answer. It was to split traffic. But before I go into that, I realize this is a controversial subject, so let me talk about the legalities, because some of you aren't from California and you're not really aware of the legalities of splitting traffic. In 2017, California effectively legalized lane splitting for motorcycles. In section 21658.1 subsection A, it defines the act of lane splitting for the vehicle code section, and basically here it is in a nutshell. If there are two or more lanes going in the same direction with a dashed line like this, it's completely legal to go between vehicles and split lanes. However, you cannot go on the shoulder or split lanes if it is a solid line like this one here on the right shoulder. Now, I found a video of a CHP officer discussing the reason and the purpose behind legalizing lane splitting in California. Two reasons that really came to light for me were overheating of your bike or dehydration of the riders, and the danger of being rear-ended by an inattentive driver, both of which applied to us in this specific situation today. So, as I let the video play out, I'm going to talk a little bit about the safety and what I do and what I look out for when I am lane splitting on such a big bike with a second rider behind me. Contrary to some popular belief, there are no set speed limits related to lane splitting in California. There used to be published guidelines as set forth by the CHP, but you can no longer find those published CHP guidelines. And frankly, I think it's to give officers more discretion related to California basic speed law. Look that up if you're not familiar with it. Bottom line, if the officer thinks you're riding unsafe, he can stop you and cite you for violating the basic speed law, citing the fact that you're riding in an unsafe manner. The guideline used to be lane split no faster than 10 miles per hour, faster than the rest of the vehicles on the road, and no faster than 30 to 40 miles per hour in general. However, you can't find those guidelines published anymore, at least not by the CHP. There's all kinds of websites, including some attorneys' websites, that say it's the law. It is not. One thing that is law in California, and that is that it is illegal to purposely try to impede or block a motorcycle that is lane splitting, and it happens more than you think. If you've been watching, it already happened at least twice during this video, albeit not very aggressive. Don't believe me? Go back and look for the white SUV in the number 1 or left lane and watch how he slowly moves right to keep me from passing. You can see a little bit of the side of his vehicle as he does it. And then I take a glance at him to wonder what the heck he's doing. Overall though, more and more folks in California are getting used to the law, and they actually move over for you, as you surely have witnessed several times during the course of this video. Many drivers will move over if and when they see you, and this illustrates why speed is so important. I've seen guys going 40, 50, 70 miles per hour, splitting traffic that's going 5 miles per hour. There is zero way a driver's going to see you, whether they're moving over for your safety, or worse, they're changing lanes because they couldn't see you due to your speed. And by the way, you should never do this if you don't have the experience or you simply just don't have the confidence. You obviously need to be a skilled rider to be able to both navigate and anticipate what other drivers are possibly going to do that will affect your safety. For instance, this space represents a danger of the guy in the truck filling it. You should anticipate this and be ready to react when he switches lanes. The safest lanes to split are the two on the far left. The reason is vehicles merge onto and move over to exit the freeway on the far right for the most part. When there are only two lanes total, like in this video, be aware of merging traffic and that guy that swerves all the way from the right to get into the fast lane running into you on the way over. And when there are only two lanes like there are right here with merging traffic, sometimes it's best just to stop and let things shake out and see what the lay of the land is before you get going again. One last tip I'd like to share with you. You gotta know the widest point on your bike and be hyper aware of it if you're riding a big bike especially. My side bags, for example, are almost a full 40 inches apart, and in some cases during this 45 minutes of lane splitting, we only had inches to spare. A good way to practice is to set up cones with a good foot to spare and work your way down to 4 inches on each side. Then go through them at a slight angle and see what happens. Bottom line is you get through your lane splitting safely and get to where you're headed. In our case, it was the beautiful California coast to escape the Central California heat.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray, hoping for the light of day. Down to the river I have held the devil's hand, felt the weight of my own sin, burdened by the heart of man. Down to the river, down to the river. Oh, bury me, carry me, oh, far beneath, oh, fire and water me, going down deep, say, oh, bury me, carry me, oh, far beneath, oh, fire and water me, washing me clean, kerosene creek. Mama taught me how to live, Daddy taught me how to give. Both of them had their own sins. Down to the river, every man has felt the shame. All our blood, it runs the same. Father, hear us as